the cash flows in online businesses are so much greater than property. But then everything has a trade-off. I keep telling people
it's
this.
risky. Online businesses are a lot riskier than property.
Well, and that's it's the risk reward ratio that all investors talk about. So the higher the risk, the higher reward you should be chasing. But then you need to sit down and be honest with yourself and say, well, if I put $100,000 into a business and it failed, what would that send me bankrupt? If the answer is yes, don't do it.
Yeah, spot on. I'm a component of both, investing in both, because I call it the infinite loop of wealth, where if you invest in an online business, they can give you higher cash flow, even though it's got high risk. That high cash flow can turn into a property deposit, and then you can roll that cash flow into a property deposit, and then you buy a property, and with that property as it grows, that's going to build out equity and or cash flow. And then you can take that cash flow and equity, and then you can use that to purchase another business or put it back into the business that you have, and you can have a high risk, high return asset with a low risk, low return asset like business to property.
Yeah, and then you go even further into, the business route, and we should develop all these. They're all interconnected because you have businesses that are lower risk that have higher cash flow than property, but they're quite safe once you know and understand them. That's why I say to people that if you don't understand it, don't invest in it.
Yes.
But the same as property, there's high risk property strategies as well.
Yeah.
You can go into your developments, you can go into, say, certain commercial purchases where you actually can make a lot of money, a lot of cash flow, good capital growth. However, as an example with commercial, you can run 6 month and even 12-month vacancy periods where you've got no cash flow and you're still holding that debt, and that can financially bankrupt you. So that's a high risk strategy, unless you've got business income or other higher income to help float you through those times. It's all a balancing project. So I guess that's that infinite loop that you talk about.
Yeah. Having that high income being put into low income good assets.
And protecting yourself too. That's where the accountant comes out, where it's like, if you do, this is actually really evolving into something interesting. If one entity fails, say your business goes bankrupt, you don't want your properties to go to fall with it. It's protecting all through. Asset protection is super key too.
Yeah. So I have a trust for property, and then a different company, and it's very separate. So like, if I get sued through, or have something happen, liability thing happen within business, they can't come after my assets that are in trusts and stuff like that. Even though, guys, I've got insurance and I'm covered, and
you're doing the right thing.
Never been to court, and doing the right thing. It's still worth having those risks, and not having everything attached, right? Because if you buy all those, like you said, you could buy 3 in your personal name, and like you might be a plumber, and something happens, and you do some gas fitting on a house, and it blows up. They could come after your 3 properties, right?
Yeah, and then you don't know what the future holds. There's so many elements. Like, people over in America jump in front of cars to sue people. I know that it's far-fetched sort of stuff, but like literally when we were over there, they drive. If you're standing on the side of the road, people actually and let's say it's a 60 mile an hour, 40 mile, was that
40.
50 k's or something like our speed. They actually slow down to a point where
I remember that.
They're anticipating you to jump in front of the car, and we're getting pissed off because we're like, hurry up, I need to walk.
Yeah,
get past.
We want them to go past so we can.
Yeah, and it's I guess the rise of that no win no fee lawyer is just really been a real. It's like that evil side of the world that is toxic. So
I think we're pretty good in Australia compared to America with that stuff.